that fit for purpose and more thinking about the right fit. So what it is, it's a bit of that. It's the economies of scale thing where we've seen a lot of those legacy systems have tried to tick every box, and yet when we speak to organisations, they're only using about 20% of the product. So it begs the question, why are you using this product if it's only 20% return on investment? So it's more, I think there has to be a change in mindset around, actually, it needs to be about scalability. Let's take it back to the core purpose and product of what you want to do, and then from a successful base, build on it, scale out. What are the kind of types of products and services that you can really make a successful, established, solid base on, and then grow from there, rather than trying to do everything and end up not doing it well.
So, we used to have kind of the phrase "best of breed," and I was never a great fan of it, but actually, if you've got, like, we do one thing, we write property factoring software, right? We have another sister company called Inspect that does inspection software. Do you know what I mean? But CPL does one thing, and the challenge is opening up people that actually, just because you use your main system to do everything, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing to do. And you're right, people go and buy the thing that is that everyone else uses, but actually, how much of that product do you actually use? And does it fit you as well? Because every business, regardless of, whether they're a housing association, whether a property factory, whether a lawyer, whatever, they all do things slightly differently.
Yeah. And it's amazing that actually some of the discussions I've had have been around, how did you actually get this system in the first place? And it's actually came down to just one person. It's we've always went through this procurement portal, whatever it might be, and we've always just spec'd every single thing we think that it needed to do, rather than just focus on the real core product or kind of things that you really strategically need it to do and align to, and that's. And that's where you see a lot of these kind of new organisations or organisations that have a really good product, but it just might not do one or two things. Then they're falling out that kind of shortlist. So it's just there's lots that needs to change and improve.
Yeah, I have this conversation quite a lot with clients all the time, and it's like, okay, so you want me to do X, okay. To do X will be 10 days worth of work. That's fine. Okay. And that's going to save you this amount of time in the organization, or make you this productive, or solve this problem, or whatever. And then they go, yeah, but can you just add this thing on? Now, like, that's an extra 5 days amount of work. Yes. Okay. So what's the help to you? What's the saving? Where's the return on investment? Well, we need to do that once or twice a year, but it'd be really nice. Okay. So term sledgehammer to crack nut comes to mind. Yes. And it's understanding that actually the solution at the 10 days was absolutely the right solution. This other thing that you need to do once a year, just don't touch it. You know what I mean? And that's where you need to, I guess, be that person who can have that conversation and say, that what you're doing here is not necessarily good for what you're trying, the journey you're on, and the kind of end game you're trying to get to.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with that.
Okay, cool. Okay, no, that was interesting. So, do you have any wisdom to share on how should housing associations begin, or is there a roadmap that they can follow to build on their digital strategy?
Oh, no, I was thinking, when I read that question earlier, I was thinking, where do I begin with this, and where do I? But to be honest, the more I've so as part of the digital checkup, what we offered a follow-up service. So I'd sit down with each individual who filled it in, And sometimes that would result in actually speaking to a kind of wider group of the staff or even their boards. And what I came to realise is there's not actually one fits all solution in terms of do you write a digital strategy, or do you have that roadmap of steps? But what I think has made most success and most improvement is when we say, you know, actually you need to have the digital piece sitting at the leadership table. And when I say that, it's so that across the organisation at a board level, people realise and understand the impact that kind of digital and IT readiness piece can have in an organisation. And sometimes, you know, it can, in that sense, it actually makes them realise we do need a digital person in that organisation. And it can be as simple as, you know, a structural change that gives an expectation and a focus across the business. Say, actually, yeah, we're going to be digitally capable. And then from that, there's never a kind of silver bullet approach to a digital strategy. It's always going to be a reflection on your strategic priorities and then aligning that to all the business processes as well. So it can totally change depending on your size and scale. What has been actually really interesting, and it's something I've been speaking to a few other kind of peers within the sector about recently, is that wisdom-wise, I think something that I can share at the moment is there's this huge challenge within housing at the moment. The Scottish Government's got this huge target of the amount of affordable houses that need to be built, right? And in the first instance, it sounds like, actually, well, what does that have to do with digital? But the more we think about it, right, so from the very first stage of building a house, there's a lot of data, information that needs to be set up, a lot of processes that need to be put in place in order for that development to happen. Anything about the land issues, the actual purchasing of materials, all those things, they have a piece of data correlated to it. And